Alright, it's time for the bit at the start of every stream where I go, okay, we should be live, and then I go and hastily check the stream to see if it's up, and it usually is. Unless everything's gone catastrophically wrong today, in which case it won't be, and my channel will be down for 500 counts of copyright or something ridiculous to that effect. Sorry if you heard that noise, by the way, my headphones just freaked out. Okay, everything should be working. I just need to switch my audio. Alright, cool, yeah. People are here. Just need to make sure my desktop audio is working. Actually, you know what? We'll keep it quiet. Because if I want to adapt any of this into a video, I'll be able to. Okay, how is everyone? Hello, Adrian is that bomb. Hello, Wedge Odyssey. Hello, Indiscret. Iridescent Bladers. I don't know how to pronounce that. That's just my bad. Let me just send this to the stream, not the stream chat, the Discord real quick, so everyone on there knows I'm streaming and can get annoyed by the everyone ping. Best Ninjago YouTuber IMO. Thank you, I appreciate that. Okay, once I send this video here, I'll be able to focus. Okay, right. We're good. Let me just pull up chat on my phone. Okay, how is everyone? Is it Sunday now? I think it's Sunday because like midnight. I think I had this exact same conversation with you guys yesterday when I was like, oh, is it Sunday or is it a Monday or whatever I said. But whatever the case, we're playing more Halo because the brain rot will never cease. And plus Halo is a good stream game. It's a game I can play without like a bunch of blood or whatever. Like if I were to turn on Doom, like I would love to stream something like Doom Eternal on here, but it just doesn't fit a Ninjago channel. And if you've played that game, you'd know why. L Ninjago, that's true. It has been a bit of an L lately, but you know, we soldier on. We soldier through. Saturday. See, in some places it's Saturday, in some places it's Sunday now. Like say where I live, it is Sunday because it's past midnight. But I think in the USA it's still Saturday. I just stream earlier in the day so my UK audience can actually watch these because like by the time I'm streaming, like pretty much all my UK audience is asleep. Today's Saturday because time zone's funny. I love time zones. I love how one side of the planet can be day while the other is night. On the one hand, that's really cool now I think about it, but on the other hand, I hate it. I hate it. It's a pain. When especially when you talk to a bunch of people from the USA, trying to schedule like around them is a nightmare. Because just time zones are just such an annoying thing. Alright, I'm gonna head out, but the stream's gonna be cool. See you, Adrian. Thanks for dropping by. Okay, so how we doing, Krusty? I'm doing good. I've just mostly spent today making that call video, like on and off. I don't know why, but recently I've got like a big motivational kick to like start making Ninjago content again. Not even as like a, oh, well, I need to do it for the money thing, because YouTube money is still pretty bad at the minute, thanks to AdSense. So it's not even like a, oh, I'm motivated by greed or anything. It's just like, I'm genuinely motivated to talk about Ninjago again, which is really nice. You know? So I think the move is just going to be ignore Crystallized Existence, talk about older seasons, because I still do really love talking about them, which is nice. And I hope that sticks around for long because I really liked making today's video. It was a lot of fun. Then I made the short, and then I hopped on Mario Party with some friends, and that was like an hour-long game, and I lost badly, but it was a lot of fun. Mario Party Superstars is really good, by the way. If like any of you are like wanting like a modern Mario Party game, that's the one. I was just watching the video. Great job, dude. Thank you. Yeah, so today's just been pretty chill because obviously it's been like a Saturday, so nothing's really been going on. But yeah, it's been a nice day. Favorite Ninjago set? Okay, so probably the Ninjago movie Bounty or the Masterfools. Do you still plan to re-review Crystallize at some point? Yes. At some point, I want to make a video that airs all of my grievances because I have realized since that initial video came out that there is so much more wrong with the season that I just didn't pick up on. So I want to cover that on the channel at some point, but I don't want to overdo it because I know like it's gotten to the point where me disliking Crystallize has become a meme. So it's like, fair enough, I'm tired of talking about it, you're tired of hearing about it. So I'm probably just going to put out another video at some point, and then that's going to be the end of it. Favorite scene from Ninjago? My favorite scene in all of Ninjago is probably Lloyd versus Garmadon in Cryptarium Prison. Family Guy? Family Guy. Well done on the video. Your analysis on it being a character-focused season sums up why I still think it's good. That's valid. Yeah, I don't know why I said that's valid because I completely agree with it. But yeah, no. I love March of the Oni for that. Like, I think it's a really smart decision to just have it be completely character-based because that's like why we're in the Oni trilogy. What's your favorite season? It's seasons 8, 9, and 10. It usually defaults to season 8, but it could be any one of those three because they're all wonderful. And definitely the peak of the show. Is there anything Ninjago could do at this point that would make you fully quit Ninjago for good? I mean, that's basically happened. Pretty much. I just, like, I know I've said this a bunch, but I just don't care about what's happening next. Like, I'm still going to watch it because, you know, I'd be lying if I said I wouldn't. But I don't really care about it. Like, I'm not hyped for 2023. I don't care. So I kind of have fallen off of Ninjago. And depending on if depending on if the problems are fixed or not, if the problems aren't fixed, yeah, that'll probably translate to being for good. So what they can do to make me not care for good is to double down on what they did with Harumi, Nia, and Lloyd, and so many other ruined plotlines, I guess. I think there's a guy in active canon there. Yeah, there is. Do you think that Crystallize is worse than Hands of Time? Yes. Hands of Time is bad. It's poorly made, but like, it was like, the actual story impact was inoffensive. Like, it didn't leave a giant gaping scar on the Ninjago canon. But so, apart from the 40 years stuff, which was stupid. What's your favourite version of Garmadon? Definitely Emperor. What other kind of shows do you watch besides Ninjago? I'm currently watching Better Call Saul. I'm like halfway through Better Call Saul. And that show is amazing. Like, I've just started season 4, and I just love what I've been watching of it. My favourite character in it is probably, like, of the new characters, is probably Chuck. I think Chuck's really funny. I like Chuck. But yeah, Better Call Saul, and I've also been watching a ton of Family Guy recently. I don't know why. It's probably just because, like, those pirated Family Guy rips keep appearing on my YouTube feed. But Family Guy is a pretty enjoyable show. So I've also been watching a lot of that. What do you think was fumbled more? Crystallized or Infinite's live service? Probably Infinite. I mean, like, Crystallized was awful, don't get me wrong. And that has made bad damages on the canon. But with Halo Infinite, it's like, they had 6 years to make this game. Like, from when Halo 5 came out to when Infinite came out, they had 6 years to plan, develop, and release this game. They had a budget of about $300 million. They had the biggest pool of players they've ever had access to in the entirety of franchise history. And it's still somehow managed to have the quickest player drop-off of any Halo game. Sensei Garmadon or original Evil Garmadon? I I don't know. I find that hard to rank because they're kind of the same character. But probably original evil Garmadon, because Garmadon, like, Sensei Garmadon is awesome, but he'll always be the most interesting as a villain to me. Join and Heard Family Guy tonight's going to be epic now. Hell yeah. What I'm thinking of doing with a stream, I don't know if it's the plan I'll actually go through with, but what I'm thinking of doing is adapting like clips from this into like a compilation and then posting it as a Q&A. So if you have any questions to ask, feel free to do it, and if there ends up being enough, I will take the audio and make a Q&A video out of it. I think that'll be fun. They should have done a clone of Nier and Crystallized and call herself the Weapon. Yeah, it would have also been really cool if they just completely, like the whole Benfamar thing, it would have been really cool if they just completely skipped on how Benfamar reclaimed his kingdom and missed that entire conflict between Benfo and like what remains of Kalmar's army. And just like do, I don't know, maybe a time skip of about a year or so and just have all of those problems been resolved off screen and be dismissed by a single line. Like Infinite, oh wait. How would you rate the overall Ninjago show out of 10? Probably give it like a 7. Like, just the first 10 seasons, I'll probably give it like a 9 or an 8. With like everything before Crystallized, I'll probably again give it like a 9 or an 8. But I don't know, Crystallized was just such a monumental fumble. So with Crystallized 7, without Crystallized anywhere from an 8 to a 9. Oh, I should have seen him coming. Will the Ninja's Elemental Dragons come back in Ninjago United? I really doubt it. At this point, the Ninja's Elemental Dragons have been gone for almost 10 years. 2014 is going to be 10 years ago next year, and 2015 is the year the Elemental Dragons were introduced. We haven't seen them on screen for 5 years at this point. 6 years, actually, since Hands of Time. And I really don't expect to see them back at this point because they've been gone for so long. I've kind of come to the conclusion that a lot of what we wanted from Crystallized was unlikely to happen. While I hate this argument, in this case, a lot of that stuff was too complex for a kid's show. Not really. A lot of the stuff people wanted from Crystallized was like stuff the show has like already shown it's capable of doing. So, I don't know. I think it's definitely on the cards for Ninjago to do it. Like, Ninjago showed a dude getting fire breathed on him and then encased in molten lava and then left to die. I'm pretty sure they can get away with writing good character arcs. What is your biggest hope for Ninjago United? I hope that they work towards fixing the problems. I think the next few seasons need to just be pretty much damage control to try and minimize the problems of Crystallized. Like, say, we need an installment about Lloyd telling us what the hell's up with him. Why did he take joy out of beating innocent civilians? We need an installment to show us, like, what Harumi... Like, what the hell is up with Harumi? We need an installment to... kind of try and fix Nia's character. I don't even know how they'd go about fixing Nia's character. It's been so badly damaged. I don't know what they'd do, but I'm sure they could come up with something. I think the number one priority of Ninjago United should be damage control. What are your thoughts on the prison arc in Crystallized? It's okay. Most of what I said is pretty much held up. Bump up the difficulty a bit. Does it make... I had no idea it makes sounds when you up the difficulty. That's cool. Sorry, I'm asking Halo questions. What would your next ideal Halo campaign be narratively? Just a sequel to Infinite. I don't want any more like last minute complete 180s in terms of direction and tone. I just want them to find a vision and stick with it so we can get some actually decent content. Because, like, oh my god, these past 10 years, literally all 3 of 343's games have been setting up the next big arc. And I just want the next big arc to actually happen already. That being said, I would also like to see the Didact back. Okay, what I like about this save is I have the glitched out tank gun. So I can go like this. Which I think is really rad. Are you still planning on making that Season 11 video? Yes, I've been very unproductive on it. But I want to resume the writing for it soon. Again, like I say, absolute bare minimum, it will be out by the end of this year. If it's not out by the end of this year, I will hate myself forever. But absolute bare minimum, I want to get it out for this year. But ideally, maybe like February, March for a release. But again, don't take that as a promise because for some reason, just Season 11 specifically is a video I've been very, very unproductive with. To the point where I started planning it early 2020. So make of that what you will. Okay, let's read chat real quick. What would you do if you got Lorumi? We kind of already did. Like, Crystallized was like pretty big Lorumi pandering to the point where, like Tommy said, they wrote the season around doing that. So, like, if you want to believe they're a couple, you can. I think writing to pander to an abusive couple is bad enough, let alone downright confirming it in canon. So, I don't know. If it gets Lorumi, the problems will just kind of be worse. Okay, let's read chat real quick. Why do you hate the Dragon Form episode? Oh, where do we begin? Okay, chat, I want you to decide right now. Do I answer this question or do I spare you the rant about Crystallized? Which one? Is there a way to put up a poll in chat? I want to say I saw a poll feature. Hold on, let me see if I can pull up a poll option. No, I can. Okay, it's gonna be up to you guys once it loads. You could even say, well, how I do this will be up to your interpretation. Rant about Dragon Form. Okay, the poll is up. If you vote yes, everyone who says I complain about Crystallized too much, if this vote wins, it's on you. And while that vote's going through, we'll answer other questions. I hate how they leave everything up to fan interpretation. Yeah, I think it's very clear that they just didn't have a story, so they just thought, just do a bunch of disconnected plot points and let people make headcanons to try and justify it. Which is incredibly lazy and lacking in, like, just the basic, like, a basic vision. But, whatever. Wow, Krusty, you're so toxic, you hate everything. Cube, my chum, do you want to get on the stream? We could do, like, a live Krusty crew or some wacky thing like that. I could, like, call you on Discord or something if you're up for that. Krusty isn't complete without Crystallized ranting. Like, I love how, like, it's literally just become a meme on Ninjago Twitter at this point that I just absolutely hate Crystallized. Lego tweeted out the Ninjago set names this Christmas. They're coming out this summer. They did not. Those set names came from a leak, which I personally don't find to be true. Particularly due to the complete lack of any kind of comment on them from sources like Promo Bricks, who historically have been a very reliable source. Maybe tomorrow I'm in bed right now. Ah, that's a shame. Nah, get on your phone. Do like the really low quality, like AirPod phone quality. That'd be fire. Jeez, now I'm thinking about it. We literally haven't done a Krusty crew since September. I need to do another one of these. Wouldn't it be a Krusty video stream without a Crystallized rant? Okay, let's see the results. Okay, so 84% wants me to do yes. 16% doesn't want to rant. So, you guys have done this to yourself. Dragon Form is an atrociously bad episode. Where do we begin? So, actually, how does the episode begin? I don't even remember. So, it starts with the Overlord fight, I think. Hold on, let me pull up the episode real quick so I, like, know what I'm talking about. Because, like, The start of it is just completely forgettable. Oh yeah, so it starts with like the fight between Lloyd and Garmadon, and this first scene, pretty cool, how he like merges into the crystal. But the first immediate problem is the Overlord's design looks like crap. Like they have such an amazing design in the sets, right? Like that Sensuar design is so cool, and then in the show, it just looks awful. What were they thinking with this thing? Like, hold on. I'm going to try and find, like, a high-res image of it to kind of show you what I mean. Like, in the sets, the Sensuar design is amazing, but the show version fumbles it so bad. I'm going to pull up an image just to show you what I mean here. It's not something I'm going to rest on for long, because it's still, like, a fine enough version of the design. But it does feel like a complete, just monumental fumble in terms of, like, translating an incredible design to a usually incredible-looking show. Okay, so it debuts this horribly goofy design, and first of all, they just gave him breasts. Who knows why? And another thing is, like, they have this, like, pretty consistent utilitarian grey-looking stone design. And then they just awkwardly pasted his Crystal King face on there. Like, you can see the cutoff between the grey and the black. And it's just like, this is horribly ugly. They just took the design and literally pasted his face onto it. It looks terrible. Okay, so after he embraces the goofy Sensuar form... Oh god, did I just remove the background image? I just removed the background image. That's not good. Let me get that back. I hope I still have the image saved. Here it is. And that's above Halo now. Okay, there we go. We're back. Okay, so after this moment, they just have like a really soulless fight, and then the allies rock up, and this scene on paper is a really fun idea. Like having all of the allies unite after so much like division and turmoil throughout all the Wildbrain seasons, a great idea. That's the obvious natural route to take. But all of these allies are just cardboard cutouts of themselves. The appeal of having so many characters like meet up and like fight side by side is the interactions, because we actually care about these characters beyond them being cardboard cutouts and just random caricatures. None of these characters have any kind of voice lines except for one islander who says, "The King Benfamar of the Endless Sea." Hold on, I just gotta let my cat in the room. Come in. Okay, so pretty much all of the Wildbrain side characters, which are known for their like super cool. Okay, that too about the army of Shintaro. The army was hyped up literally for 2 years, and then it was 5 guys who did nothing, which is stupid. So yeah, all of the Wildbrain side characters are reduced to hollow caricatures themselves that offer nothing to the story. They have no reason to be there. Then the ninja embraced dragon form, which is a pretty cool scene, but the whole prophecy is just generally so rushed. For example, right, Green Ninja Prophecy, that's built up across 2 seasons, so when it actually happens, incredibly impactful. The Quanish Prophecy is introduced like an episode or 2 before it happens. We have maybe 10 minutes of build up for this whole prophecy. If they introduced the Quanish Prophecy in like Seabound or Motum, or hell, even at the start of Crystallize, then sure. But there was no build up for this prophecy. They just desperately needed a reason for the ninja to go powerful. Just couldn't come up with an idea for it, so they were like, prophecy. Let's not do any of the legwork for it though. So the ninja were able to embrace the absolute highest form of their power because a bunch of people are standing around them, I guess, which is stupid, but like whatever. I get like the idea. It's like, oh, you're with your friends. That's really fun. And okay, so let me pull up the episode again because I'm starting to forget the order. And then they have like the big fight scene. And then it cuts back to the Overlord. And then it's time for the Great Devourer reveal. So, just to recap, this episode reveals that while the Overlord is completely debilitated, stuck on the Dark Island, and unable to do anything, he somehow managed to influence events in Ninjago to where he infected the Great Devourer, and then influenced it, specifically saying he possessed it in order to go and bite Garmadon. Supposedly while being so debilitated on the Dark Island to the point where, like, the season shows us he can't even see outside of heat. Like, somehow this completely debilitated Overlord managed to corrupt the Son of God and make him do his bidding. Lord knows how, but he did. Let's just not question it. And then we find out why this reveal happened. It was a complete ass pull to get Harumi on board with working with the ninja. And this redemption is incredibly whack. Because, okay, so Harumi's like whole shtick is that like, oh, she has these incredibly extremist beliefs about how the ninja are not what Ninjago needs and how they're ruining the place. And these are never addressed. All she does is just redirect her hatred at the Overlord. She never, like, none of her behaviors are actually addressed. She, like, this redemption never, like, comes with an actual realization that what she was doing was wrong, or, like, a change in mindset. It's just, oh, I need to do everything I've been doing, but against someone else. And then I'm completely absolved of all evil for some reason. Despite the fact that, like, I have a kill count of over 20 people. Lord knows why. So, after this, let me pull up the episode again. So, after this, and one episode I do like, one moment I do like, is how, like, the final tipping point for Harumi, like, when she does start just, like, letting out her rage at the Overlord is when he threatens Garmadon. That's a really nice detail. So, Nia. Nia is completely victimized by this whole season, and the message is just straight up, Nia is worthless without her powers. She has literally nothing to contribute to this, like, to the team's efforts without her powers. Whilst Pixel is absolutely kicking ass and taking names. Like, literally, Pixel, a powerless Ninjaroid, took on about 4 indestructible Vengestone warriors at once using only a sewer lid. Nia gets victimized by literally one of them because she doesn't have her powers. The season just completely, like, knocks down the character's worth just to, oh, she shoots water out of her hands. And this episode reinforces that with the mechanic saying, like, oh, you're not a real ninja if you don't have powers, and then the season proves that. And this episode proves that. So what happens after that? Hold on, what happens after this? And then, even then, Nia isn't allowed to have that moment, because you know who saves her? It's not herself. It's some random dude, Akino. He rocks up and he saves Nia. What message are we sending to young girls here? Is it, okay, you can't do anything without blessings and men have to save you? It's like, come on. Okay, so after this, we have this Colin Vangelis scene, which is really cool. And then they purify the golden weapons. And, oh, this is the next thing. The council's conclusions are so whack. They're just completely bonkers in how nothing they are. So, okay. Pythor, the only reason people wanted him back is because his story was left up in the air. He ended up getting defeated by the ninja, and then we don't know what happens with him next. People wanted him back to get a solid conclusion. Crystallized finally brings him back after 6 years of absence, only to give him the exact same conclusion. Why did you even bother bringing him in? Asphera, her first ending was getting frozen in a block of ice by Zane. Her second ending, getting frozen in a block of ice by Zane. King Vangelis literally just gets knocked into a pothole, which is unbelievably lame. Mr. F's death is like, okay, or whatever it is. I don't know, it's up to interpretation, whatever that means. But, okay, so Crystal Council defeats Olwak. And then the Overlord starts charging up his final fart blast onto the Ninjago city. They got sent to prison after they were defeated. They were? When is this implied? Nowhere in these episodes is it implied they're sent to prison. If Tommy said that, that's one thing. But if you need external interviews or tweets to tell you the basic plot of the show, then the show's plot has fundamentally failed in telling you what it wants to be doing. You should not need to rely on a YouTube interview to understand what happened to the antagonists of the season. That is stupid, and that shows a misplacement of priorities. If it was so important that they went to prison, this is something the show should have said. And then the episode ends with this really cool scene of the Overlord charging up the crystal. Yeah, the cliffhanger at the end is decent, but it's not like I really care about the story. But like from a crafted scene perspective, it's a good cliffhanger. So yeah, there's some redeeming aspects, but I just think it's a terrible episode. I hope that pleased the one question, and like I say with the poll saying, should I rant about Crystallized? I can't say I didn't warn you guys. I can't say I did not warn you. Oh, you can't say I didn't warn you. Please, no one ask me about Roots. No one ask me about Roots. I beg you. That was confirmed on the interview of the TTV channel. Yeah, but the TTV interview... Okay, the TTV channel. Love the people on there. But they are not the Ninjago show. This should be being said in the show. Not in an interview. Like I say, if you need an interview to understand the basic plot of Crystallized, then Crystallized has fundamentally failed as a plot. In my honest opinion, Crystallized was good up until the Harumi reveal. After that reveal and part 2 started, the entire season felt completely improvised. In hindsight, I don't think part 1 is like that good, but I gotta agree. Like, that was the moment where it kind of felt like it lost its composure, really. I'm gonna change my UI real quick. I'm gonna change the... Where is it? It might be in accessibility, actually. I'm going to change the enemies to be red. Okay, there we go. Feels like it... Crystallized feels like an AI was told to make a Ninjago season. Krusty, do you like Radiohead? I do like Radiohead. Okay, who is the most wasted Crystallized council member in your opinion? Pipe4. Have you ever watched Thomas and Friends? I actually was watching Thomas today. Like, I saw this video, this like hour-long video essay about the Magic Railroad, and since then I've been on a Thomas kick. Like, today, remembered the existence of the film Thomas and the Great Discovery. And what I've seen of that film, keep in mind, I've seen some clips of it today, and just going off of my memories of when I was 6, that film has aged extraordinarily well. Like, the scene where he's on the bridge is still, like, really good. Like, as far as Thomas movies go, it is a damn good one. Even when I enjoyed part 1, I still had problems like Nia being brought back 6 episodes in. Yeah. Krusty be watching The Unlucky Tug. Yes, sir. That's the one. That's the one I was watching. His content is really good. Like, I'm not really actively into the Thomas franchise. Loved it as a kid, but, like, I kind of just grew out of it. But Unlucky Tug makes some dope videos. Your thoughts on Lloyd and Nikita? Good ship? Very good ship. Are you gonna drop Puss in Boots: The Last Airbender, The Last Wish review after you watch it? Yeah. It's coming out, I think, 3rd of February in the UK, and I'm probably gonna go see it opening day here because it looks fantastic. And if you stay tuned on Crossbound, there probably will be a review. Last month I binged the entire show and went straight from the end of Seabound to Crystallized, and Nia is absent in 1 episode, then we see her in episode 2. It's so distracting. Yeah. It's not great. Crystallized was definitely a season. Do you like Andrew Francis as an actor? Yeah, absolutely. Andrew Francis was amazing as Cole. The decision to recast Cole as Andrew Francis was one of the best the show has made. He's excellent. Like, I'll fault Crystallized for a lot. I will not fault it for Andrew Francis. Oh my god, the real George Lucas is in the stream chat. That's crazy. Have you ever seen the Magic Railroad parody? It's awesome. I haven't. Actually, what is that? I may have when I was a kid, but I can't remember. I haven't watched anything like that. Crazy that the Crystal King / Primeval's Eye episodes could have been wrapped up in 2 or 3 Willfilm episodes. Okay, to be fair with that, how long would we spend in Primeval's Eye again? Like 5 episodes? That's like the equivalent of 3 Willfilm episodes in like runtime. What really we should have realised is that whole thing could have realistically been resolved in like 3 episodes rather than the 5. Actually, no, I don't know. I think the pacing in that was fine. Just the story content in it was bad. That's the problem. The real pacing issues of Crystallized is the fact that they spent 5 episodes of the ninjas just dawdling around the city doing nothing. That was stupid. That was really stupid. Okay, right. Everyone, I'm all Crystallized rant out for a bit, so I want to discuss anything but that, if that's okay. So ask me non-Crystallized questions. Okay, I had to leave again. What's going on now? I want to take a 10-minute break from discussing Crystallized. So I'd like anything but Crystallized questions. Even though I'm not 100% sure it was unintentional, a decent argument for the lesson with Nia and her comparison with Pixel is that sometimes it's the desire for power that's more detrimental. See, that would have been a really cool arc, but that just doesn't happen. Like say with Moru, right? If his arc where he's just like thirsting for power was resolved by him getting the green ninja power and then that's the end of it, he's fine. It would have been stupid, right? Same for Nia. You don't conclude someone's obsessive desire for power by giving them that power and everything's fine. That's not how it works. But it's a cool idea though. What are your thoughts on the Ninjago movie? I really like the Ninjago movie. It's a very solid flick. It's not what I would have wanted from a Ninjago movie, but it's really fun in its own right. And I appreciate that a great deal for it. So yeah, Ninjago movie, pretty good. It's a pretty well-made movie. I like how it lifts like Lloyd and Garmadon's dynamic and like reinvents it a bit. I think that's a lot of fun. And it feels faithful enough to the source material for me. But if I could, I would have much preferred like a canon movie based around the events of the TV show. I don't care if the general film audience doesn't get what's going on. It's not for them. I'm just going to kill Chaklock and then I'll... Okay, there we go. Let's read chat. Gotta admit, these boss fights are badass. Yeah, Infinite's boss fights are really cool, I think. Like, Infinite does a lot. It's like, does a lot right for the game, like, gameplay, and also does, like, a bit wrong. But boss fights, it does really well. Halo has infamously had pretty bad boss fights, but Infinite did them really well. Okay, let's get out of here. From a Ninjago fan perspective, it's easy to hate the movie, but as a standalone movie, it has a lot going for it. The animation is beautiful, and the dynamic between Lloyd and Garmadon is pretty good. Yeah, that's pretty much my take exactly. If we were to get a full-on Ninjago reboot, what would you want to happen in it? I just wouldn't want a full-on Ninjago reboot at all. A lot of the appeal of Ninjago is like the continuous story, so just throwing it all away would be like the worst decision they could make. If Cole was still a ghost, do you think Vanya would like Cole's ghost form? Yeah, I don't see why not. I mean, like, I don't know, Vanya liking it or not liking it isn't really a problem because they aren't a thing, like, at all. Like, they never were a thing. People who wrote the show have said they didn't write them to be a couple at all. Cole said outwardly he just doesn't care about pursuing Vanya in that light at all. So I don't really see how Cole being a ghost would factor into it, especially when Vanya is friends with like goblin and troll people. For me, the canon movie is March of the Oni. Yeah, that's a pretty good way to look at it. The movie cut of March of the Oni is pretty weird. Like, it's all right, but there's this one baffling decision where the cutting of Cole in that episode, in like the endings episode, is so the first time we see him after the fall is when he shows up at the monastery, and then they have this really shoehorned in flashback of like him at NGTV Tower, and like it's a cool idea, but it's just paced really weird. What would you want to see in the unexplored realms? I don't know. I mean, like, if this is for pre-Seabound, what I would say is like a water-based realm, but we kind of have like a water area now, so. What would I want? I was gonna say a desert realm, just completely forgetting about the first realm. I wanna see another wildcard realm. You know, like the Realm of Madness. I want to see something that just completely defies all logic. Like, because, like, different realms, different rules. Netherrealm has different times. Some realms probably have, like, say, some realms might have, like, different gravity. Stuff like that, pretty much. Krusty, do you get Riz? No. I do not. What are your thoughts on Echo Zane? Do you think he's wasted potential and should have come back? Yeah. I think it's got, like, one of the big issues of the Ninjago storyline is that Jay and Nia know about this Zane clone just chilling on an island and just do nothing with that. They don't go and see him. They don't go and check up on him. He kind of just disappears from the show after that. And I think that's a huge wasted opportunity. Would I have made him Mr. E? Absolutely not. But I think there was a lot of potential there that he kind of wasted. Bro gets hella Riz. Come on, I'm a Ninjago YouTuber. I'm permanently Rizless. If you had the opportunity to write Ninjago post-crystallized, what would you change? It could be anything from characters to previous story arcs. What do you mean? Like, okay, so no, actually, no, I'm not going to ask that because it's pretty obvious what you mean. So, oh, I'm just going to have a drink before I answer this. I want to, first of all, Lloyd's character desperately needs a course correction. Having Lloyd become as hateful and closed off as he was in Crystallized was just so baffling and confusing. Like, the fact that in the course of a season, just in between time, Lloyd goes from, oh, there's good in everyone, to, you are an Oni, you cannot change, despite the fact that an Oni, like, coached me to being great again. Also, I beat up civilians for fun, for, like, kicks now. That's just something that I do for some reason. So that character, we need to know desperately what's going on with him, and they need to try and save his character somehow. Also, what needs to be done is that we need Harumi's character basically to get the same treatment. We need to build on the redemption. As crap as the idea of a redemption is, at this point, there's no other option than to build on it. Unless just erasing Crystallized from the canon is on the table, then I would go for that probably. But even then, erasing Crystallized is a bad idea because people do enjoy it, and it'd be a huge middle finger to them. So probably at this point, the best route is to try and double down on the redemption. But lean back on stuff like the Loirumi aspect. We do not need that dog shit ship in the show. Oh, Jesus, I swore. I shouldn't be doing that. Nia, I have no idea. Fix Nia. I don't know how you would ever go about fixing Nia. Because she's just a complete, like, incomprehensible mess. She's basically just been regressed back to the point of season 1 now. But I really don't know how you could save Nia. I really don't know how we could go about doing it. I would love a live-action Ninjago movie franchise. I would not. I think Ninjago should stay a cartoon. Wild Brain Lloyd is much more closed off. No, it's not a Wild Brain problem. It's a crystallized problem specifically. The arc of Wild Brain Ninjago's Lloyd is pretty good. Or at least in Season 11. So he starts off really closed off in the same way he was in Season 10 because of 2 straight seasons of trauma and his world being changed. There is clear reason for him to be this closed off, but also he's not like borderline hateful. Then Season 11 rocks up and knocks down his walls, and then throughout the rest of Wild Brain Ninjago, it reflects this. Lloyd tries to see the best in everyone. In, like, going against the lessons, the quote-unquote lessons Harumi and his father tried to teach him because they're wrong and don't know what they're talking about. Because they're villains and they're bad. But then Crystallized rocks up and makes Lloyd incredibly hateful for no reason. And, like, if there was, like, a journey to this point, right? We had a long arc that showed, like, say Breaking Bad, for example. We see point A to point B, how Walter White goes from being a nice family man to being a heartless monster, right? It'd be like, imagine if we go from like season 1 Walter to season 4 Walter within the course of an episode. It would just make no sense. If they really want to go through this, as bad of an idea as it would be, there needs to be an actual setup. People are fan casting both Lloyd and Jay as Tom Holland in the comments. I love that. Who's your favorite Thomas and Friends character? I'm basic, but I like Thomas. Season 1 Nia was more independent than crystallized Nia. Exactly! Nia kicked ass without her powers in that season. Why can't she do that in this one? Oh yeah, I got so enthralled in ranting I forgot to run an ad. Hold on. Tom Holland should just be every character. Yeah, Tom Holland is actually the only actor. Krusty, can you do a ranking video of all seasons of The Walking Dead on Crossbound? Sadly, I have not seen The Walking Dead. Walter White or Harumi pre-crystallized? What, do you mean like in terms of character? Honestly, comparing the character of Walter White and Harumi, like at least before crystallized ruined her, I would say I like the characters equally. I think they're both like wonderfully written characters, and they feel very like natural and believable as people, and do a good job at making me care about them as characters. So honestly, I can't decide. I think Walter White and Harumi are as good as each other in terms of writing quality. At least before Crystallized screwed everything up. Nia didn't even make the new mech in Crystal. Yeah, that too. Literally, she does nothing in that season. Literally, all she does before she gets her powers, at least, is topple over a bus and then fly away, and then lift up some rocks, and then fly the ninja about, I don't know, maybe 100 miles or so. She does nothing. That's basically nothing. Like, you could argue Sally made more plot contributions than she did. We need to not talk about Crystallized Krusty 2 moments later. Do you think Lego will make some more Legacy sets? No. At least not for a long while. I think for, like, the foreseeable future, Legacy is dead and buried. And I think that's fine, because Core kicks ass at the minute. I really like what they're doing with Core. So, I'm not really hankering for Legacy, because Legacy got really stale. Like, that last wave of Legacy especially was just the most phoned-in, boring thing I've ever seen. Like, there was that mediocre Kai Dragon. There was some bike set. There was, like, that crappy ultrasonic radar, and that's, like, it. And it's, like, that just, it's like, what the biggest shame is that Legacy absolutely went out with, like, a whimper. Like, it went out with a whimper, like, a muffled cry, and then Lego took it out back and shot it. But, all in all, I think it had a good run, but it was getting very tired. I'd like to see it have a break. Wasn't Nia in near-death situations in Crystallized like 4 times? Yeah. Doc Brick says Legacy was considered a separate theme, so it got 3 years run, then it was done. Yeah, that makes sense. So if that's the case, that means next year will be Core's final year, right? Unless it's like really successful. Then I guess they'll find... I guess if Core's really successful, they'll renew the theme. I hope it is. Core is something I haven't got burnt out on yet. Core, like the first year, sucked. Sucked. Bad. But that's the second year. Core 2023 is really good. I'm very happy with Core 2023, as you guys will know. And Coming from like someone who was as against Core last year, my liking of Core 2023 I think should mean a lot. Do you want a live action interpretation of Ninjago C-Band? I don't want a live action interpretation of anything Ninjago related. I think Ninjago is a cartoon and it should stay as a cartoon. I'm just generally sick of like live action adaptations or remakes of stuff. Animation is a perfectly fine medium. It doesn't need to be replaced with a live action version. C-Bound is there and it is great and looks great and emote and like shows the character's emotions perfectly. We don't need a live action version of it. Don't kick Core out while it's hitting its stride. Exactly. Core is in a great position at the minute. Bare minimum, I want to see it get another year. But what isn't so great is the Stalker Rifle. I hate this gun. It's alright in campaign though, I guess. Multiplayer though, this gun is hell to use. I don't like using this gun at all in the multiplayer. It's out of ammo anyway. What's your real name? I will not be sharing. I am a privacy freak and I don't really enjoy sharing my name, sorry. If you could change anything about Ninjago's lore and story, what would you change pre-crystallized? Definitely the 40 years stuff from Hands of Time, get that out. I think giving an exact number of how long it's been between the Serpentine Wars and present day was an incredibly bad idea, and it's made for a ton of inconsistencies. Like, to recap, 51 years before the present day, trains were invented. 40 years before, it was like relatively medieval, minus like trains being a thing. 31 years before, incredibly immersive video games are developed. Like, huge mistake. What did you think of the Fall of the Monastery episode? It's okay. It's just kind of boring, hollow action. It's really well made, boring, hollow action. But it is boring, hollow action. There's just no story. Like, if there was a good story backing it, I'd be all for it. And also that near fake out at the end was so whack. Yeah, exactly. My first name is Krusty and the last name is 783. Real. I'm just generally sick of the idea of live action remakes of things. Because, like, I feel like companies that make, like, live action remakes just, like, kind of clearly show their disdain for animation as a genre. Which is a shame, because animation is an awesome genre. And is perfectly fine. Like, live action remakes, say, of, like, Disney movies are usually seen like, oh, this is the better definitive version. And it's like, why? It doesn't look any better. It just looks like soulless, CG, bland, hollow, nothing. Whereas the original animated versions of things are usually always infinitely more expressive and do a way better job at telling its emotional story. And, like, I don't know why we need animated remakes of things. Animation is a good genre, and if the animation in a thing conveys the point fine, why change it? It just feels like it comes from a place of live action as the next step up, when usually animation ends up looking better and can be more stylized and allows for more creativity. That's not to say animation is a better genre, but throwing out animation for a genre that isn't able to do the same things as it is a huge mistake and kind of implies a disdain for the medium despite it being perfectly fine. I know that's a bit of a rant, but I don't like live action remakes. What did you think of Darkness Within? Darkness Within is fun. Again, they all kind of suffer from the problem of being a part of like a really bad story. But Darkness Within is a pretty fun episode. There's a lot of stuff I can point to that and say, yeah, no, that's pretty fun. Thoughts on Lava? Great ship. Should be canon. I understand that's a take that will probably get me a lot of crap, but screw it. I know some shippers on Twitter are very, very crazed. I've had several encounters with them. But Lava as a ship is one I like. Who's your favourite Wild-Brain Ninjago villain? General Vex. How many fake-out deaths did Crystallized have? Actually, no. You know what? I'm gonna say it. I'm gonna read this question. I'll get to that one in a sec. I'm of the opinion that once a story is told, you should move on and tell another one. You told the story, move on. I agree. But yeah, how many fake out deaths were in Crystallized? Let me think. If you want to count the whole near Seabound thing, there's your first one. There's so many of them. So I think there's another in episode 15. We're not counting the deaths in 14 because they're like generally there to serve the story. And are like very quickly revealed not to be true. But you know what, screw it. Actually, we're going to count them anyway. 3 because I just feel like being evil. So, you know what, no. I'm not thinking about Crystallize this in depth. Oh, fellow Vex enjoyer? Hell yeah, I love Vex. Vex is like one of my top 5 Ninjago villains. I think his character is excellent. He's part of what makes Season 11 so damn good. I love that season. I love Vex. Just great writing and characterization all around. Who's your favourite well-brained side character? It's going to have to be Akita. Akita is great, but Akino is also probably a pretty big runner-up too. Corcoran also. Corcoran slaps. Kalmar or Pythor? Pythor. Kalmar's cool, but in a lot of ways he is kind of just worse Pythor. As good as Kalmar is as a character. Any Ninjago fan theories you really like or want to be canon? Oh, yeah. The big one for me is the idea that Chen manipulated the Time Twins into becoming power hungry and then doing their like bit against the Elemental Masters in season 7. It was like a scrapped plot from that season, but it's so cool that I just consider it canon because it's just such a natural continuation that I don't see why they didn't do it. Hell yeah, finally someone else sees how cool he is. Hell yeah, I love Vex. Vex is one of my favorite parts of season 11. That's sick. Vex is really... Michael Kopsper, I wanted to make a video about when he passed, but it's just like I was kind of in like a YouTube drought, so I kind of just didn't get around to it, and also personal stuff was happening. But I wanted to make a video because Michael Kopsper, I don't know how to pronounce the name, was incredibly underappreciated. He provided the voice of Samukai, which is good enough, but Vex is like one of, if not the best voice performance in the entire show. So when the news came out that he passed, it genuinely was a blow, because Kopsa is an amazing voice actor, and his voice performance as Vex is one that's genuinely unforgettable to me. Like, there are so many lines where I can point to and go like, holy crap, the line delivery there was so raw. Great actor. Fob, what's the fob? There's the fob. Oh, no. Do you think Masako is a good mother? Yes. And that may sound outlandish at first. She made a very bad mistake with Lloyd with the whole leaving him at the boarding school thing. But after that point, Masako is nothing but supportive of her son. There are several points in the show afterwards where she puts her life on the line for Lloyd. So I think people portraying her as this, like, careless, stupid, ignorant mother is just, like, so disingenuous. Like, do you guys remember where she let herself get kidnapped by her bloodthirsty ex-husband in order for Lloyd to be able to escape? That was pretty good of her. How she supported Lloyd after the whole Harumi thing happened, and tried to give him as much emotional comfort as possible. He sounds like he's having so much fun when voicing Vex. Exactly. There's so much personality and charisma in the voice. You can just tell that Kopsa is having an absolute blast voicing Vex. What is my opinion on Plunder? dope character. I love his design. His voice is really cool. I love like the dice gimmick he has, where he like throws the biker, not the biker, no, the dice, and like that decides what he does. That's a really fun way to tie in the set gimmick. Plundar is a goofy, fun character. I like him for that. Okay, we're going to stream for about 10 more minutes, and then we're going to wrap it up. Who am I? I'm his trusted advisor. Chills. Vex was a great, absolute dude. That line where he's like, Lloyd's like, he'll see what you are. He's like, what I am? I'm his trusted advisor. While you are nothing but a rebel spy and a thief. It's like, it's genuinely, like, that whole scene has just incredibly well written dialogue. I hate Vex in, like, the best way. He's such a hateable character, and that's why he works. Like, he's just such a dick, you know? Like, he's just so... He's, like, just pure malice and just manipulation. He's like Palpatine, where it's just so fun to hate the guy. And that's why he works so well as a character. What's your favourite Ninjago fight from Wildbrain? Okay, either Cole versus the Skull Sorcerer, Nia versus Wojira, or Lloyd versus Ice Emperor. What's your opinion on Blazy's character? Blazy H-Speed is a cool character. I think she was annoying in Crystallized. I can't honestly tell you why that is. There's just lines where, like, say where she's like, oh yeah, say goodbye to your damage deposit, Vinny. It's just like, she just comes across as generally an annoying character. But, like, she's fine. She's a fine character all around. I just thought her characterization in Crystallized was generally pretty annoying. Vex is so unapologetically evil, and I love that. Exactly. He's such a hammy, just douchebag. He's great. I love Vex. Did Black Panther 2 copy from the C-Band poster? Probably not. It can't have copied any more than Ninjago copied the Endgame poster. What's your favourite Ninjago Season 5 moment? Okay. Probably the scene on the blind man's eye when Cole like lets go of the icicle and does their jitsu. I think that's like a really powerful moment. Either that or Moru's death. One of those two. Lloyd versus Crystal Council in episode 12 goes hard. That's true. It does go hard. Just this, I hate to drum on this. The story is not good. The Master Chief design in this game is so good. How did that not hit him? I'm not going insane, right? Like that sniper shot hit him the first time. Like the reticle was like perfectly on there. Opinion on how Nier unlocked Ejitsu in Season 6? That's a great scene. Who is the worst Ninjago minifigure and why is it the mechanic? True. That minifigure is terrible. I love the mechanic. That figure is a fine enough design, but God, it's inaccurate. Okay, something I actually love about Crystallized is how, like, when Lloyd has that obviously crappy fake mechanic design, they use that minifigure as the basis for it, rather than the actual, like, show design for the mechanic, as to say, like, yeah, we know, this minifigure sucks, we're sorry. I think that's, like, a really funny detail. Crusty terrible gaming moments. No, I'm not bad at the game. I'm not bad. I'm not. I will probably die a lot in this mission, though, because this mission is complete evil. Do you think Fall of the Monastery is a good episode? No. It's like a solid episode, I guess. The fights are good, but the story it's telling is not interesting in the slightest. Like, all of these episodes have the overarching problem of telling a bad story. But even outside of that, Fall of the Monastery, like, the fake-out death at the end is incredibly cheap. And it's just more of, like, Crystallized big problem where it's like, sure, cool stuff is happening, but there's no, like, good storytelling to back up this cool stuff. Where was the Elemental Masters during the Crystallized finale? Literally just... They couldn't be bothered to render them, pretty much. They just didn't want to spend the money or hours, like, making the models for these characters. So they didn't. Which is a bit of a shame, but I guess I can understand that from, like, a cost-cutting perspective. Okay, I need to go inside. How do I get in? It's, like, through here, I think, right? Krusty will become a wallet warrior / Giga Whale to prove his dominance over the game. Wallet warrior and Giga Whale are really funny terms. No, it's one of those games where it's just cosmetic, so we can lock everything behind microtransactions as long as it's just cosmetic. What do you mean you like unlocking armor pieces? You can get, I was going to say a certain swear word starting with F there. But then I realised this is a family-friendly PG clean stream, despite me saying the poo word earlier. You can get screwed is the family-friendly equivalent, I think. Yeah, I think it is. What if the Overlord turns Garmadon human again? I think that'd be terrible. I think if Garmadon's arc is going to end with him just becoming human again, why bring him back? Opinion on Woot's beard? Looks cool. Actually, yeah, we're going to go to the Pulse Carbine. That's probably the better option. Okay, but all I remember, I need to run another ad. There we go. Oh, Jesus, what was that? Could only Lloyd have defeated the Overlord? I don't know. We don't know. I'd assume so. So I think Lloyd was willing to let all of Ninjago die just so he didn't have to embrace his Oni form for 2 minutes, which is certainly a character moment. But, I don't know, we don't really see. Maybe he would have, maybe he wouldn't have. But they're not willing to take risks with the characters, so I wouldn't know. Do you be cranking 90s? I do. I do be cranking 90s. God, I hate this mission. I wish I had the tank gun right now. Best and worst Ninjago side character. Best, probably Akita. Worst, Sally. Just kidding. Sally's cool. Scott, probably, I think. Scott is like an incredibly mid character. He kind of just does nothing. Like, he has some cool character moments, but doesn't really have much of an arc. Like, he has like the basic components of a character arc, I guess, but it's just, I don't know. He feels very poorly fleshed out. I know Scott has his fans, but I personally am not one of them. It's cool if you are, though. What? What's the most plot armor moment in Ninjago, in your opinion? Maybe, like, all of the Zane stuff in Crystallized. Maybe Nia's fake out. It's definitely a Crystallized moment, but honestly, I don't know which. One of the original concepts was of only Lloyd obliterating the Overlord and taking over as the Crystal King. I feel like that would have sucked. One reason because like everything leading up to it was really bad, so it's already built on bad groundwork. But I don't know. Only Lloyd as a whole thing just feels, in hindsight, was a bad idea. Like, Only Lloyd was blatantly done to please like Ninjago fans rather than like tell a natural continuation of Lloyd's story. And I feel like it doesn't really work because Lloyd's character isn't built around suddenly being able to use Only power. So I feel like when that does come around, it kind of just feels strange. Crag is the worst side character. Crag is cool. I like Crag. Crag is a really fun side character. He feels very, like, pure-hearted. I like that about him. The Overlord is a good villain. I agree. He's a pretty good character. What happened to the Ultra Dragon? Oh, boy. Who's going to tell him? That's a joke, by the way. I'm going to tell him. So, after the Ultra Dragon went to the first realm, after the events of Season 2, Iron Baron found the Ultra Dragon, tied him up like he did the Wind Dragon, burnt him alive, ate him, and then used him as used like the skeleton as the decoration for his throne. Which is why Kai looks at his throne and says, I already hate him. Because he pretty much immediately picks up on the fact that Iron Baron brutally murdered their pet dragon. I hate to be the one to give you this bad news, but Iron Baron killed the Ultra Dragon. As confirmed by the Hagemans on Twitter, but also by like the dialogue in the show and the Legacy short. Crag is so wholesome and I love him for that. Exactly. It's just like, he's such a good-natured character. Like, he doesn't have a bad bone inside of him. And, I don't know, that feels very happy to me. I don't know if happy is the word, but I like it. I like Crag. What? That's why Kai says that? I thought he just knew it as Dragon Bones. I mean, it could just be that he knew it as Dragon Bones, but, like, knowing that, like, the season was written around the intent that, oh yeah, Iron Baron killed the dragon, the Ultra Dragon. I assume that's why that line was written. Ultra Dragon is having a nice vacation in the first round. There's nothing to worry about, guys. Yeah, the Ultra Dragon is 100% still alive. He is fine. He's perfectly fine and alive with Iron Baron, Harumi. Oh, wait. Nia. Oh, wait. Garmadon. Oh, wait. Would the ninjas have gone Super Saiyan if they learned that Iron Baron eliminated their OG dragons? I don't know. It's the lore details that make me love this show. Same. They're definitely part of the reason why I love it so much. Like, the lore in this show is genuinely so interesting. Like, obviously, the main reason I watch the show is for the characters. The lore is something that I can excuse inconsistencies with because the characters and the emotional core is the #1 priority. But the lore is still very interesting. Do you think the Overlord will return for a 4th time? Yeah. I wholeheartedly think they will. Because Ninjago just strikes me as a very... I don't know. It just strikes me as if it's running out of ideas. So I totally think as soon as they run out of Pyro Snake recolors, they'll bring back the Overlord again. Which version of the Ultra Dragon do you prefer? The original version or the Legacy version? I can't really judge the sets because I don't really remember the original Ultra Dragon set. But in terms of show designs, the Legacy one definitely wins out. It looks more like a real creature. Jeez, I hate this part of the mission in particular because it's just... You just die. You just constantly die. Do you prefer Sensei Garmadon or Season 8 to 10 Garmadon? Definitely Season 8 to 10. Like, nothing beats that interpretation of the character for me. Whoa, look at him go. Did you see that? Go away. Please go away. Please go away. Please go away. Okay, we're good. We're good. As Daily Warlord said, for all we know, the Overlord could be plotting to return in Season 13. Exactly. Hey, Krusty, try aiming. Shut up. Just hit your shots. Oh, I didn't realize there was someone in there. Thank God I shot that fusion coil. Go away. I could have beaten this mission 10 times already at this point. No offense. That's mean. Thoughts on Wuok's Misako? Decent ship. What happened to Jay's real parents? We have no idea, and that's why the arc is so good. I hope they don't reveal that, because, like, the whole thing is that, like, oh yeah, Jay doesn't know, but that's okay, because that's, like, realistic, and tons of people go through that. So I think taking that away from people would be a big mistake in terms of, like, letting people relate to the show. Okay, we're going to end the stream with the Bassus boss fight. Thoughts on Cole being dad moments? Love them. Captain Soto is a fun character. He's kind of stereotypical, but he's a fun character. There's not really much else to say about him. Okay, so Bassus starts about here, I think. Since it's better if we don't know, I feel like we're going to meet Jay's mom in the new series. Yeah, probably. They're probably listening to this right now and thinking, very good, let's ruin it. Meanwhile, cheating a video game. I'm not cheating, I'm just predicting the future. I'm gonna head off now. Great stream, Krusty. Thanks, David. I'll see you around, man. Break up and easy. Soft inside. Bassus is great. I love Bassus for like the 2 seconds he's in the game. Spartan! Oh, jeez. Oh! Okay, that was close. Spartan! I just love his voice. It's so cool. Cry for help, human. Oh, jeez. I need to, like, stop appreciating the dialogue. Otherwise, I'm going to die. No. Do not reach... Okay, damn. Break like little twigs. As Mayor Trustable once said, dull and unimaginative. Yeah, pretty much. Oh yeah, I can just stick him. Never mind. That didn't work. 10 out of 10 voice acting. Almost thought that was his in-game line for a second. Oh yeah. Okay, let's run an ad. Oh jeez. No, I was too busy trying to run an ad. I didn't realise I'd respawned yet. Ah! Okay. Make a video called Top 5 Best Well-Brained Ninja Arcs. I don't know about Ninja Arcs specifically, but like that like idea, like something related to like top 10 like story arcs from Well-Brained, I think might be something that's workable. That's a good idea. I'll look into that. Okay, he's about to lunge, I think. Okay, here's the strat. Watch this. We're gonna do the classic portable power drain. Please don't regenerate your shields while I can't find you. Yeah, you're regenerating your shields. That's not really good. Bro thinks he's the overlord trying to regenerate. Okay, I'm not going to be reading chat for a second because I'm going to focus on killing basses. Oh no. Okay, he's very low on health. Come on. Okay, we got him. How about ranking the animated Well-Brained flashback things? Ooh, that's a good idea. Do you still use the DualShock PC combo? Yeah. I've been like using the Xbox controller a lot more recently, but right now I'm using the DualSense because I'm hoping like the button presses are quieter. Chat, now is your chance to say swear words. Craig is the worst character in all of Ninjago. Who is Craig? Okay. Let's see how long the streams run for. This is a 1 hour 21 minute stream, and in that time we have completed 2 Halo Infinite missions, I think, 1 side mission, 1 actual, and we have had way too many conversations about Crystallize. Like seriously, I'm disappointed in all of us. But no, this has been a fun stream. Thanks for coming on, everyone. I want to try and stream more often, like maybe a bare minimum once a week, as long as I'm like active on the channel, because I am kind of still fluctuating between Crossbound and this one. So if you do want more of my content, just not on Ninjago, be sure to sub to that. You can find it by searching it up. And yeah, so I want to stream more often. So hopefully once a week, but no promises. If you have any suggestions for videos, by the way, feel free to like drop them in the comments of this stream. Like once the stream ends and like you get the actual comment section up, because I have recently renewed my passion for making Ninjago videos, apparently. So as long as that's around, I would like to start doing that more. So if you have any ideas, let me know. So yeah, thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you all had fun. I did. And we'll see you around.